Okay, welcome to String Theory with Anthony Douglas. I am your host, Anthony Douglas. This is part two of recording studios and working with your band and band psychology and this type of thing. So, if you're in a band and you're also being brutalized, they're telling you you're too loud and you're not even on at all. You're not even plugged in. And they're going, you're much, 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 much too loud. You turn down. There's a problem then. If you're not even plugged into the wall, if your amp isn't even on and you're too loud, they're trying to psych you out. And this can happen in bands. I mean, I'm not joking about it. It can happen. It can happen with the audience too. Now, one guy came up to me one time and he sat there and he goes, "You're way too loud. You're much too loud. Your singing is too loud. You turn down that PA system right now." And I said, "Sir," and he was an older gentleman, so I said, "Sir," I said, "I would turn down my PA system if I could turn it down, but I can't because I don't have a PA system or a microphone. I'm just singing acoustically." I told him, "But I sure can sing softer if you'd like." And he got red in the face. Then he went back and sat down. And there are just people that they're trying to psych you out a little bit. You know, maybe they've had a bad day or whatever. It can be any number of reasons. They lost a loved one. It doesn't matter. It can be anything, right? But these are people that can, you know, they have some sort of an other issue, or they're just trying to trip you up somehow, or they want you out of the band. You know, maybe you're too good, and another player feels threatened by that, and now you've got someone that is trying to sabotage you. And they might try to sabotage you and play on top of you. They might try to sabotage you and talk behind your back, say that you said things that you didn't. Social media runs wild. I mean, I'm not even that plugged into it or anything like that, really, honestly. I mean, this is just about it right now, but I'm not saying in the future I'm not going to be using Facebook and in different other avenues like that, but I'm just saying there's a number of things that these people can actually wind up doing to sabotage you and to trip you up, get you out of the band, or make you look bad so that they can get paid more, or, a lot of different types of problem child. But you've got to understand that if it gets bad enough in the band, be looking for another group, always be looking around. And then just, if you find a band that you fit into really super well, just be very nice and in your decline and say, "I've enjoyed working with you guys. And, if you guys need a extra person to help fill in or something, I would be willing to do that." So you can come off as a nice guy and give them plenty of notice. Don't just leave like in the middle of the gig or something. That's, that might get around social media just a little bit, happy baby. You might wind up going down like the Titanic just a little bit there. But yeah, just be respectful and do that. There are other things too. One is some bands they like to hear fluff. And I learned this way on, really, like when I was in my very 12 to very early teens. I was able to see people, guys talking to me, you've got to learn to fluff them up, Tony. You know, just tell them what they want to hear, you know. I'm an honest person, so a lot of times I like brutal honesty, but there's a time and a place for that. If you're working with somebody that you just totally love, that's bad. I mean, they sing all out of tune and everything, but you're just having a great time with them, and you kind of want to stay with them. You kind of want to keep working with them. You love them, right? Because it's a fun situation. It's a low pressured gig. You have all these other high pressure gigs. Well, that, you know, that's another thing that can work out for you. So, you know, be respectful and, you know, space your gigs properly and have your bands that you work with, you know, the number of groups and situations and different things like this that you've got, you know, have everything lined up and treat everybody good, you know. And people do like to hear compliments. They really do, you know. So, you know, you might, you know, if your singer isn't singing so hot, but they manage to sing better than they did the last time, compliment them. Say, you know, I really like what you did there. That really sounded good. Maybe it had an energy. Maybe the crowd liked it. Maybe there was something about what they did that was great in a live application. Maybe if you're in a recording studio and you played it over and over and over again, you'd hear it was out of tune. You'd hear, you go, oh my gosh. But in a live application, this is working. You know, the energy is there. The people are seeing it. Everybody's into it. So don't be afraid to compliment your fellow players that you're working with. You know, don't be afraid of that. Always do stuff like that. And you know, maybe you're working with a guitar player, and maybe he's thought you were some sort of a threat, right? But now, instead of a threat, just if he does something that you like, give him a little compliment. You know? Give him a little compliment. That can really help things out and make him feel good. And maybe now you're a lot less of a threat, right? You've given him a compliment. Maybe he did something on his bass strings that sounded good, you know. He had put on a little extra reverb and did something, and you know, or maybe he did some fast lick that you liked. Compliment him on that. You know, give him, you know, you like getting compliments, but they do too, you know. And it's a band. It's people that you're working with. It's stuff that you're working with. You know, so don't be afraid to give your band members and, you know, all your people that you're working with, you know, don't be afraid to give them compliments, because they love it, you love it, and you guys are having a lot of fun with it, right? So, you know, and then they'll see that you have a sincere heart, and you'll see that they do, and a lot of things can work out for the positive. Okay, I'm just about to the Barleans Dinner Theater right now, the Barleans Dinner Show, so I gotta go. But at any rate, it's been great. If you like what you hear, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.